There we go. I think we are live now, but I don't see anything. Okay, I see us now.
Are we live?
We are live. And I am tracking, so whenever you're ready, you can go.
All right, let's do this. What's up, everybody? This is the Smash Controller Podcast, episode number 12, with your hosts, Jose and Patrick. The
Hey,
twosome
hey.
tonight.
Yeah,
Yes,
Mike is
Michael
not
is
here
on
with us.
vacation. No, he's on
Yep.
vacation right now. I know. I think he's at a wedding. That's where he's at. So
Yep.
we're gonna do this without him, but no worries. We've done it plenty without, with just me and Patrick for a long time. So just going back to the old days of just me and Patrick talking about video games. So let's go ahead and get started with what are we playing? So Patrick, what have you been playing lately? I know you've been you told me a lot of things you've been downloading.
Yeah, I've actually been kind of hopping between my PC and my PlayStation 5, trying to just find something to dig into. I started Red Dead Redemption like I talked about last
Hmm.
time, and for whatever reason, I just haven't really been able to get into it for the past few days. Just not in the headspace for it. Played a lot of Binding of Isaac, Afterbirth. I actually almost beat, I guess, the hardest boss in the hardest mode. Got him down to like 10% health the other day, and got cheap shotted and died. I was so
Hmm.
mad. Um, and then I've on the PC, which is something we're going to get into a bit today. I've been utilizing the new EA Play and
Hmm.
the new Xbox Gamepass games on PC. Messing with some Mass Effect, which I couldn't get to work. Messing with some Crisis, which I couldn't get to work right. I'm trying to play everything on a controller, and none of them have good controller support because they're all old. They're all like
Yeah.
14 years old or something like that. So yeah, they're they're all kind of remedial on that. Um, so yeah, I'm kind of in between a bunch of stuff. I picked up Origins again, Assassin's Creed Origins. Started going through a bit of that. Um, yeah,
I think
that's
it's more like killing time for me till we get to Mass Effect remaster.
yeah, yeah. I'm looking forward
That's
to that
like one
still.
of the games that is on my radar. That one, and also the new Ratchet and Clank for the PS5 coming out in the summer.
Right.
But for me, I have been playing a lot. I did pick up Retro Mania on the Xbox. It finally came on consoles. I mean, yeah, other than Steam, very fun game. So if you do have an Xbox, it is out on Xbox right now for 24.99. It is a digital download game, so that was very fun. So if you're into that old WrestleFest WWF game from the 90s, awesome, huge sprites, great game, great wrestling game. Got some cool old WWE or different superstars from TNA, NWA, all that kind of sort of stuff. Pretty cool. So I really like it. Very big fan of those kind of mash and beat 'em up type games. So that was fun. I also too have downloaded a few games. I haven't played yet. I did download a few games on the Game Pass since EA came out. I actually downloaded the Madden on PC because I'm just kind of interested of how it looks on PC. Then I'll delete it once I'm done with that. I'm not gonna go keep it all keep it on. Otherwise, I've been playing a lot of arcade games. So I told you guys I bought the Legends Ultimate. It's this big cabinet, and I actually bought a ROM. They put in a USB drive, and I have over 1,500 arcade games. So
Wow.
I'm just going through them and playing all these games since I was a kid. Just kind of replaying them, playing like Commando, the original Mario Brothers, Daytona USA, Cruising, all those games.
Right.
Donkey Kong, even the Contra, Castlevania, all those games I've just been playing right down the list and trying to beat them. And another game I'm replaying too on the arcade format is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles,
Oh
the
yeah.
the
Stone
arcade game.
classic.
Yes. So we did, find out that they're gonna release a new arcade game, which is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge, which is pretty much the same type of game, but a sequel to it. So that's almost like 20, almost 30 years later
Yeah.
for doing that. So I'm really excited about that. I think it's pretty cool. But that's it. It hasn't been a big gaming when it comes to Xbox and PS5 this week. I've been really gaming a lot on arcade. And again, I did play the Retromania. Oh, and I did finish Spider-Man Miles Morales, which is a really good game. Not worth the $60 is worth. I think
Right.
it was, or the 50.
Right.
It's just a really good DLC title. Yeah, it's really good. It looks awesome, but yeah, it's not worth the 60, $70. I can't remember what I paid for it. It was absurd amount of price for a
Uh,
game like that.
It's a Marvel game. You know what do you want? It's
Yeah.
kind of. I
So
mean, it is what it is,
mhm,
right? It's just
yeah,
a
I mean it's
superhero game.
fun and
Yeah.
it's probably the best looking for me. What I played so far, the best looking PS5 game, especially when you play it on the high frame rate with the ray tracing. It looks
Right.
awesome. It's ultra realistic and it looks great. All the blast effects looks awesome. So, and when you swing around and you see yourself in a building for that split second, it looks really really cool. So I really like it. I'm really
Yeah.
enjoying that. Enjoy
Dim
that game. So
reflections.
yes. So I can't wait to play games like Ratchet and Clank using the power of the PS5. I mean, I'm really excited. I saw Ratchet and Clank on the PS4 looks fantastic. I can't wait to see what it can do on a PS5. So I'm really really excited about that. But that's the quick of what we've been playing. I'm sure we'll get more into it once if these rumors are true, there'll be more game to play. But we'll get to that. So, quick news: Sony revealed the new controllers for I guess their new VR
Mm-hmm.
for the PS5.
Oh yeah.
It looks pretty cool.
They look awesome.
Um,
Yeah. Definitely
I hope there's
a
no
step up.
wires. Yeah, I hope there's no wires. I hope it is like a Bluetooth kind of option because I think it'll make a big deal if it is no wire because the way they pictured it, I just can't see myself running around with wires on that stuff out there. It looks much more premium if that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Absolutely. Yeah. It looks so much better than those stick VR controllers that we have right now.
Oh
Those
yeah.
things just don't like lend themselves to actually using VR. So, I mean, they work well enough, but they
Yeah.
just don't feel quite as good. If you've played on an Oculus Rift or like an
Mm,
HTC Vive or something like that, like those controllers are superior because they're just ergonomic and everything kind of makes sense on your hands.
exactly.
And these are looking very very cool. They definitely stand up to that totally. And from what I've heard as well, to avoid a lot of confusion for which hand does what. They're putting the options button on one hand and the share button on the other hand, so you're not going to accidentally hit one or the other depending on
Hmm.
which control you're holding or which hand you use, whatever. You just have to remember. And also, what I see is that they have the buttons split between the two controllers. They actually have the what is it? The circle and the X
Hmm.
on the right controller, and the triangle and the square on the other one. It's kind of interestingly out there. But yeah, overall, I'm liking what I'm seeing with that. Looks very cool in comparison to what it was for sure.
Oh yeah, those wands that we had.
Yeah.
I mean, for one, the wands are very outdated. Those probably came out like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And using technology. So I'm hoping now with the new PS5 camera and hopefully they release a PSVR 2, version 2, which I think they will, and can kind of utilize the power of the PS5 better
Right.
and get better games. Now, I would, I'll tell you, I have never played a premium headset before, so I don't know the difference of what I'm looking forward to.
What you're
You know what I'm
missing, yeah.
saying? Yeah, so I'm just used to the PS4 and what that has given me, and I'll tell you the truth, it's not the best. Like it's good, but
Yeah.
it's not the best.
No.
You got that screen door effect. It kind of takes you out of the whole um, vibe of the whole thing. I know from the reviews and from videos I see of other people with the premium sets into $1,000, that stuff is less. It's not. It's still there, but it's a lot less. And then the frame rate is better to make the game more, just immersive.
Yeah.
And I just hope that maybe. with the version 2, PlayStation can put something out that, I mean, I'll enjoy more. 'Cause I'll tell you the truth. I played my VR in 2020
Right.
one time, and I played
Yeah.
my VR in 2021 zero times.
Yeah. I think the only thing that I've really been, the only two games that we've been playing on our VR for the past couple of years is Beat Saber and
Yeah.
the Five Nights at Freddy's VR game. I mean, those two games are really great VR
Hmm.
experiences, especially on that. Obviously, we're not privileged enough to have Half-Life Alyx on PlayStation. So,
Oh,
which
won't
hopefully,
that be
if they
awesome?
actually
Yeah.
come out with a new VR headset that can handle stuff like that and really look good, that would be quite awesome. But I mean, some of the cool things about these controllers is that they're instituting or including a lot of the features for the DualSense controllers. So they
Hmm.
have the adaptive triggers that actually resist you depending on what you're doing. They got the haptic feedback, so it probably feels weighted again, much like the
Hmm.
controller can. It's got finger touch detection, so it can actually sense your fingers even when you're not pushing buttons. So that'll be really cool in certain games, I'm sure. And then they say the VR controller is tracked by the new VR headset. So they are definitely absolutely coming out with a new VR headset.
Okay,
So
good.
that is awesome.
Yes, because I mean, don't get me wrong. When it first came out, I was all about the VR for months. Played all the games. I got tons of games back there. I have a lot of games I haven't even opened yet and played yet because they got really boring, and also a lot of games were just so jarring that it gave me headaches.
Yeah, really
And
depending on what you do.
yeah, I couldn't
Yeah,
handle like Gran Turismo. Gran Turismo to me was a horrendous
yeah.
game that
Oh
made
man,
me.
that's
I just wanted to
instant
throw up
motion
so bad.
sickness. Yeah, instant
Yes.
motion sickness because there's so much motion, and then you're like,
Hmm.
I don't feel myself moving.
Nope.
Yeah, that's brutal. Uh, yeah, I actually just remembered. So when I found out about the PlayStation VR, the new
Hmm.
VR, I did actually read it where it was coming out with a new headset, and they said that this headset is going to have a single cord setup instead of the multi-cord in the box. I think
Hmm.
it's going to be a single cord that connects from the headset into the PlayStation, and then everything else is detected from from what I was just reading, it looked like the controllers are detected with the headset, not
Hmm.
just the camera on the thing. So it gives more freedom to do stuff because if it's looking at the headset the whole time, then you don't have to worry about your camera not picking up your hand as
Hmm.
it moves or something like that. So that should be pretty awesome. Hopefully they really push the boundaries on that, and hopefully we get Half-Life Alyx. That's honestly
Yeah,
all I care about. That's literally all
that's
I
the
care
only
about.
game I really care about. That I mean,
Yeah. I don't know
I
if
mean,
I
I'll
would get
admit,
it otherwise.
yeah, because I remember when the game came out. I think me and you were talking about maybe dropping some money
Oh yeah,
just
on
to
a
play
Valve
that one
Index.
game,
Yeah.
and that's crazy to think that we were about to drop like $500, $600 just to play one game. But for me and you, that one game meant a lot. The Half Life series is like big time for me and you
Oh yeah.
when it comes to all those games. So I'm all about
It's
Half Life, but
one of the best
we
series
came to our
ever.
senses, yeah, and we said, no, no, we can't drop a grand just to play one game, even though
It
it
was
did get good
tempting though.
reviews. Yeah,
It
it
was
did
very
get good
tempting.
reviews, but I'm excited. I hope, I really hope that they do come out with Half Life Alex on the PS5. If not, at least bring down these prices on these absurd amount of cash you got to drop for these new these new VR systems.
Yeah.
So, I
I
don't
mean,
know
if
how
they're
it works.
self-contained, it's fine in my
Yeah.
opinion. But it's kind of crazy when you're trying to justify, a $400 or $500 purchase.
Hmm.
It's like as much as a home console or half of what you're the price of a video card. I mean, on a computer,
Hmm.
you're already putting a lot of money into a good gaming system, so it's a little bit more forgivable. But $300 something, $400 for a PlayStation headset is a lot.
Yeah, it is.
For
I
the
mean,
headset and the controllers.
yeah, And there's other games I want to play on it. I do. I am kind of curious to play Iron Man. I mean, that's drop prices. I kind of want to get it now just to kind of see how it goes with my old PSVR set and everything. It'd be cool to be Iron Man in the helmet and everything. I don't know. It would just be something different. Just some. I mean, I haven't really looked into that yet, but again, my PSVR is sitting right over there, is
Yeah,
collecting
collecting
dust,
dust.
and maybe I'll break it out sometime this week to play some Iron Man and stuff like that. All right. So that being said, more Sony news.
Hmm.
So Sony, so far, they may be doing trophy support for PS1, PS2, and I guess the older PS3 games that didn't have trophy support for the PS5. So if that's happening, does that mean that we're going to get backward compatibility for the PS5? Will it play PS1 games? Will we be playing PS2 games? Will it join Xbox? Because Xbox can play quite a bit of Xbox original games. They can play a lot of the 360 games. I think it's a good, if they do this, it's a really good win
Yeah.
because you got to think about it. There is, I mean, I'm not going to look it up, but there is thousands of PS2 titles
Oh yeah.
that you can go back and play.
Yeah.
And I think it's a great idea because right now the only way you can play your PS2 games if you have a PS2 console or you buy one of those remasters.
Yeah.
Which why would you want to do that? I got a bunch of PS2 games over there. I would love to kind of just put it into my PlayStation 5 and play it.
Yeah.
You know.
Definitely.
Now
I
I'm
did that
lucky
for a long
enough.
time on my PS3
Yeah,
before we
I'm
lost the
I'm
ability
lucky
to do it.
enough. Yeah, I'm lucky enough to have a PS2 that still works,
Right.
and I can plug it into my CRT TV. But it'll be pretty nice if I can put in my PS5. It gets a little bit of boost of graphical qualities, and how fast it goes. And these games don't take a lot of space, so
No.
it'll be great to put in the drive and everything. So I don't know. I know Mike will be very excited
Yeah.
because that's just a bunch of more games you can play trophies on.
Gives him a
You know.
whole new pool to go into.
Yeah, it gives a lot of people a whole new pool to go into. It would
Yeah.
give me a pool to go into. I would love to play, I mean, like the Metal Gear Solid titles with trophy
Right.
support, all over again.
Yeah,
Um,
man. I have been hoping that they were gonna re-release Metal Gear Solid, the
hmm
original on the PlayStation. Actually, I think I heard.
hmm
Am I wrong here? I think they were talking about actually doing a remaster of that. Yeah. So this was a few months ago, but they said that there was rumors that they were getting into a full remake that's
hmm
going to be a PS5 exclusive. So hopefully that pans out. Hopefully that doesn't come to nothing. Be
That'd be
nice to
very
have that
cool.
old game, yeah, because that one was
Yeah.
fantastic. That and the
Now,
second one
would
were
you
great.
want them to, remake it from the ground up and it looks really good the whole time around, or just make it like the original how it looked originally?
Well, if they did it as well as I think that they did Final Fantasy VII, for
Yeah, that's what I
instance,
mean. Yeah.
I would totally be willing to welcome that. I mean, just being able to go back to the Shadow Moses place and everything
hmm
in Metal Gear Solid 4 was a really awesome moment because you go
hmm
back and you're like, wow, this looks so good now. And I remember when it looked super pixelated and crappy, and now I can see it in 3 dimensions. And
hmm
so I would really enjoy that. If they didn't take away from the overall feel, which I don't think they would. The only concern that I have is that Hideo Kojima is no longer with Konami.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming that it would be Konami doing the remaster.
Well,
Um,
definitely they would. I mean, they do own titles, and
yeah, I don't
who
think
knows
he
what they
owns
would
the
do with it.
rights to Metal Gear at this point. Feel like
Yeah,
that would
who
be
knows
pretty
what they'll
big
do with it.
news. But if he signed off on it or he was involved or they at least stayed true to the original, then all the better.
hmm
But if it was kind of departing, or it really depends. Like I said, if it was done as high
hmm
in quality and care as the Final Fantasy VII game was, then absolutely, I'd be down.
Yeah, I mean, if they can port these games over, or not even port, just so you can just put your disc in and play it, I'll be super excited they can do that. Just
Yeah,
because
there's a
there was,
lot of
there was
games from back then I wouldn't care if
oh,
they
there's
did a
tons of
remaster
games I would
for.
replay.
Yeah,
I would replay the God of War 1 and 2,
yeah,
just because I love those games. And then you have the Kingdom Hearts series. I know they remastered those a
yeah.
million times.
They redo it for each system to
Yeah,
keep selling it to you.
You get the Metal Gear Solid games, which they remastered again to another PS3. But you can play the Gran Turismo game. It's just more fun. I have a lot of games. I can't even think about all the wrestling games that I have that came back in the day. They were so fun, and I can only play it on my PS2 right now or my PS1,
Yeah.
and it'd just be so much easier just to plop everything inside. And
Yeah.
then also too, it's good for conserving our gaming. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like just basically just keeping it alive, and nobody has to kind of say, "Oh, I remember that game on PS2. Well, I can't play it anymore because I don't have a PS2, or PS2 doesn't, you can't. It's hard to find one. It'd be so much easier to do that. So I hope Sony does come to their senses and do that because I know Xbox does it and it helps a lot. I'm still playing some of my old 360 games on my Xbox, Series X, and it's awesome just to play it. I
Yeah.
can just pop the disc in and play it. It makes it so much easier. And that being said, let me segue to this because I do have a PS5, and unfortunately, you cannot. There's no drive space. But
Yeah. As we talked about last time.
but I did hooked up my PS4 external hard drive to my PS5, and it works for my PS4 games.
Yeah.
So, which was good because that's what I really wanted for now.
Yeah.
Because I
Because
do
that's
because
primarily what's out right now, anyway.
yeah, and right now I'm using that since I'm now going to retire my PS4 Pro, and I want to play my PS4 games mainly on the PS5. So I'm using the hard drive, and it works. I did read a lot that it break your system. Kind of nervous, but I think it's if you do it the wrong way. You can't pull the stuff. If you do stupid things like you don't eject it right,
Right.
or you just plug it in while it's on and
Or
everything.
they unplug it while it's in the middle of something.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
don't do those things. Plus, it just stands there, I mean, all day anyway. So, I used it. All my games that I had on my PS4 is now on my PS5. I love it. It's so much easier now. I can go ahead and box up my PS4 away and get some more room for whatever I'm going to get next and everything. But I was so excited
Yeah.
that it actually works and everything. So, because again, most games I play right now are PS4 games. If it's PS5, it's a small indie title or the Spiderman Morales. I'm not gonna buy any more PS5 games. I'm thinking about the new Sackboy game because it's a platform game.
Right.
Otherwise, I'm not buying a game until Mass Effect and Ratchet and Clank. To be honest with you, so it'll be a little while before I get any more PS5 games. All
Although
right, go
those
ahead.
like Returnal is looking pretty cool, and some of the games that they're coming out with look
Hmm.
pretty nice. But the really big titles like the Horizon game, I mean, it's going to be a
Hmm.
while. The Final Fantasy VII remake 2 is going to be a
Hmm.
while.
Yeah,
So
that's unfortunate because I mean, I see the power of the system. They're awesome, but
yeah,
man,
they're
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 just
just
messing up
they're
everything.
really not moving fast enough right now. Like Xbox is just leaving them in the dust completely at this point.
No, I mean, yeah, they are with more games to play, but not really Xbox Series X type of games to play.
Right.
But they are gathering up a lot of steam, and with all the new, we talked about last week, the acquisitions that they're doing, it's bringing new IPs soon enough for these systems. So we're going to talk about this. The big rumor is now that Xbox is trying to acquire Sega and Konami to help them in their Japanese markets because obviously they suck over there.
Yeah.
Everybody loves Sony or Nintendo, and they want to get Konami and Sega on board, just like they did with Bethesda, and actually try to see what happens. So I don't know. I don't know if that's going to really happen. It's just too much to. I don't know. I guess everybody thought the Bethesda thing was too much to digest, and didn't think it was going to happen. And it happened. So who knows? So I mean, if it does happen, what do you think? Like, I say
Um.
Sony guy.
Yeah. Well, in
Hmm.
general, Sony fandom aside, I don't know. I mean, on a business level, obviously it's really good
Oh
for
yeah,
them.
perfect. Yeah.
On an overall games market level, I don't know how I feel about that because if they're buying all of these IPs and all of these companies and getting all
Hmm.
these exclusives, and that really, really closes off the market uh, to for other systems getting these games. I would hope, or I would expect that they would
Hmm.
still probably do cross-platform releasing. much like Bethesda is probably going to be doing as well for a lot of stuff. But there's going to be big titles that are exclusive to Xbox,
Oh
and
yeah, definitely.
they're going to be making a cut of it somehow. But I don't know. This is a hard one for me. It's just I don't know what the full impact of this is going to be, because it's bordering on monopolizing the game market, but at the same
Yeah, in a
time,
way. But you still have a lot of studios out there. They can make a lot of games, a
I
lot
mean,
of
that's
indie
true.
games.
But a
Oh, but we
lot of
do
a
have
lot.
somebody in. We do have somebody in chat right now.
Oh, I did
Yeah.
not see the chat.
Hi, it says Fabricio from Brazil. All right. Well, there you go. Thank you for joining in.
Yeah,
But
thank you.
going back, yes, I do think we could be treading on dangerous grounds with this stuff here. Just thinking overall gaming. I'm not thinking as an Xbox guy. As the Xbox guy, I'm excited because it'll be cool, because we need a boost, because Xbox got their ass handed for the past 10 years by PlayStation, and I
Yeah,
think it's our time to basically move on, move
and
up.
honestly, the
Mhm.
Xbox sales aren't doing nearly as well as even PlayStation at this point. I don't think so.
No, not yet.
Yeah,
Not
they're
yet.
still struggling, but I think
Yeah.
overall their market
Mm.
value is just skyrocketing, for sure.
Not yet, but they did announce that Xbox Gamepass is to 25 million people right now, subscribers. So that's huge,
Yep,
and that's
and
just
I'm one of them.
growing. Yeah, yeah, and it's
And
gonna
I find
grow bigger
myself
and bigger.
getting onto my PC and playing Game Pass more than I find myself on my PS5. I'll say that much. So,
I'll say that much that I go on my Xbox Game Pass more than Steam.
yep.
Lately,
That's like my
that
prime
because
gaming platform
yeah,
now.
because well, think about it. When in Steam, we gotta buy the game, right?
Yeah,
Going to Game Pass, we don't have to buy the game; it's already there, and
yeah.
just download it and play it. And I'm having a lot more fun playing Game Pass on my PC. And plus, I have a pretty nice PC that can play these games pretty, like high res, great everything. It's not like I'm playing with the 1660. I'm
Yeah,
playing with the 2080. So, which we're still trying to find a 3080. So if any of you
yeah.
guys can help me out with
Still
that,
looking.
yeah, not paying $1,000, but
No.
$699, what it's
Yeah.
worth. Um, so I'm hoping to get a 30 on that. But anyway, that being said, yeah, I mean you got Sega, so you got like Sonic games, you got Konami, obviously. Um,
Metal Gear,
Metal Gear,
Silent Hill,
Metal
if they
Gear,
ever bring that back.
exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. God,
Yeah, there's a lot of
could you
games.
imagine them taking Metal Gear away from Sony? Although I don't know, at this point, without Hideo Kojima, Metal Gear is kind of
Oh no, I
what
don't
have they
think it'll
done? They
ever.
did I think they did like one spin-off title, and they also did
Yeah, it was
Metal Gear
terrible.
Survive, which was bad. So
I think it was like about zombies or something like
yeah,
that.
that was their Survive one. It was like
Yeah.
Rust, but Metal Gear.
No, I don't think there'll ever be a Metal Gear Solid again. To be
Probably
honest with
not, and probably
you.
not another Silent Hill. I hope in spirit
Yeah.
that Hideo Kojima would keep that up, moving forward, and
Yeah,
not just
different
sticking
games.
with stuff like Death Stranding, like really get into the horror elements. I think there was
Hmm.
rumors that he was starting to work on like a legit horror game lately, but I
Yeah,
think they're
wasn't it
just
part of
rumors
PT?
right now. I think he had gotten some of the team from PT or something like
Okay,
that. I don't know.
I can't
It's
remember.
Yeah, I'd have to look it back up, but there was some murmuring about that a couple of months back. But yeah, I mean, with the Sega and the Konami, and now you got the EA Play that came to Game Pass the other
Yeah,
day, and
that's a.
like I talked about earlier, I
Mhm.
just got that on my PC as well. Started downloading some old games. They have the original Mass Effect trilogy. They got Crisis 1 and 2. They got all the
Mhm.
Dead Space games, all the Dragon Age games, a ton of old Star Wars games. They have Dark Forces on there, that old
Yes.
N64 game. They have is it Rebel Commando? Not Rebel Commando. Is it Rebel Commando? It might be
Yeah,
Rebel
Rebel Commando.
Commando.
Yep.
They have, I think, the Bounty Hunter game is on there. Jedi Starfighter is on there. Rogue Squadron is on there for free. The new Star Wars game. Jedi Fallen Order is on there. I mean, all these huge EA titles, all the Battlefield, all the
Mhm.
recent Battlefield games, Hardline
Mhm.
4, 5, 1,
Yeah,
even
but your
3
point
is on
is
there.
that
Yeah, there's so
for
much content.
14.99,
Yeah,
yeah, for 14.99, why do you have to buy games anymore?
yeah,
You
you
just
get
again
all
we
of
talked.
Game Pass and
Yeah.
all of EA Play. Now all these Bethesda titles, and if you upgrade your EA game subscription, you get all of the EA games that come out, all of the major titles that come out, you get them as part of your subscription for $15 a month on the EA Game Pass or the EA Play Pro, which is crazy. I mean, obviously between that and Xbox, and you're paying $30 a month, but if you're someone that games frequently, you know, or gets the hot titles every time they release, and you're obviously a fan of EA, it's you know, it's the way to go for sure.
No,
I
it's
mean,
no
that would
brainer.
still be
You save money.
a money saver.
You
Yeah,
save
absolutely.
money.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is about the EA, when I was looking at it, just all those games you have on there. Then you have Bethesda, all those games on there, and then we have a rumor where Ubisoft might not be joining in. And if that happens, now, I mean,
All the
why do
Tom
you even
Clancy
need?
games.
Yeah, why do you
Yeah.
need a PlayStation unless or a Nintendo, or obviously to play the exclusives? But yeah, you got all the Assassin's
What
Creed,
do I get then? I
you got
would
Tom
get Demon
Clancy.
Souls and Godfall
There you
as
go.
my
I'll play it
in
today.
Miles Morales as my exclusives for PlayStation. It would just be a
But
couple
right now
Spider-Man
it is.
games
So
until Microsoft acquires Disney sometime down the line, or Disney acquires Microsoft, and then all of the Star Wars stuff is only Microsoft. Although
you never
technically,
know.
if EA now is
Yeah.
partnered with Microsoft, then that may well be the case as is.
Yeah, if that really happened, that Ubisoft joins in with
Yeah,
like
that would be
EA with
huge.
Game Pass, that'd be
I
huge.
mean,
'Cause
that would ruin Sony. I think ruin the
I don't think it will
competitors.
ruin them. I just think
I mean, when they
that
have Bethesda, Ubisoft,
mm,
EA, Konami, like all this
because Sony
stuff.
alone, has a huge following, and they love the exclusive that comes out of the system. Because obviously, I think that Spider-Man Miles Morales is the best, next gen console game right now. It just looks that good. I'm not saying the story and everything. I'm saying the way it looks. The way it plays. It's just seamless. It's awesome. But with Ubisoft joining in, and you got now the Assassin's Creed and everything, for a person who just doesn't want to spend any money on games, but
Yeah,
just want to just spend $14. I mean, that's the way to go. Why? I mean, there's nothing on. Even though I saw the PlayStation Plus, they're dropping tons of games
yeah.
like every month. They're dropping a lot of games. They're trying to compete, but it's
I
not
mean,
like
bigger titles for sure. Yeah.
yeah, they're bigger titles, but nothing like Xbox doing right now with the Game Pass. And
No, I
also
mean,
too, yeah, think about just one thing I did a few months ago during Christmas season. They had a Game Pass for 6 months, like literally like half off. So I just loaded up on them. That's the best time to get these cards. So instead of paying I think it was $64, I think for like um, it was like a 3 month subscription, 3 or 4 months, whatever. I can't remember what it was, but it was half off. It cost me like $20 for 3 months. I bought like 6 cards from Target,
right.
and I get that, and I put them all in, and now I have Game Pass for like until 2023. Something like
For
that.
$60
Yeah,
or whatever.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever it was. But those are, I mean, if you find good deals like that, I mean, it'll be even cheaper. You know.
Yeah. I mean,
So
if they could somehow utilize PS Now, PlayStation Now,
mhm.
and start getting those big titles in there. But I mean, honestly, up until these mergers started happening, uh, Game Pass was nice because it offered the PC versions of stuff.
Mhm.
But from what I was looking at, they shared some similar titles, and there was kind of some competitive stuff going there. But now that Xbox has that stuff in there, and they're getting these Bethesda drops and all of that, I mean, PlayStation Now, I have a feeling you're going to see those titles probably leave PS Now, and yeah, I mean, they really they need to step up on the streaming thing. They don't want to pull a Nintendo, that's for sure, where they just kind of stay in the background and behind, riding Microsoft's coattails. Sony has been
Yeah, that's true.
trendsetters for a while, so
They have, but Nintendo has been doing really well with the whole staying in the background because they're selling more Nintendo Switches than
well,
than
yeah, but it's a very niche
each
market
other.
still. I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
yeah, it's if you're not a fan of Nintendo, that's like it. You're not going to get it. I mean, Sony and Xbox, at least they're comparable, and they come out with
Hmm.
mostly the same stuff. And then you could argue about like the exclusives, but Nintendo is Nintendo, right? So it's
Yeah.
like the Nintendo exclusives are pretty much why you get a Nintendo. I mean, I guess I could be argued for anything, but I mean, if you're not a fan of Mario and Zelda, you probably shouldn't be getting a Nintendo Switch, is what I'm getting at.
Yeah, I
You
mean,
know what I
I
mean?
get it. Yeah, that's true. I mean, they do have other games like that people actually buy for. I know a lot of people who bought a Nintendo Switch for Animal Crossing. Don't
Right.
even care about Zelda. Don't even care about Mario. They just want Animal Crossing. That game, I think, sold tons of Switches during the pandemic. Everybody was staying home,
Right.
and all they want to do is, make their own island, Animal Crossing. I even got into the hype. I didn't like the game. The game was too slow, too boring for me. I didn't get it. But not hating, I just didn't get it.
Yeah.
But it was cool. And then you have other games too that on the Switch that I mean, I guess it is more Mario driven and Zelda driven, but
I mean,
I like
that's
my
all the big
Switch.
titles. Yeah. I
I
mean,
like my
it's,
Switch.
the big games are going to be the
Yeah.
Super Smash Brothers
hmm
and all of that. Someone
No, I
calling
really
me.
like my Switch. One of the
Someone.
best things about the Switch is um playing it on my couch and on a toilet and in my bed. AAA titles, playing it really well, so I love it. Playing that
Right.
every time.
Sorry
All
about that.
right.
I was getting a call from my girlfriend on my phone. So
Let's see, anything can happen. Then, all right. So we talked about the Ubisoft, maybe going to the Game Pass. Never know. And then obviously EA Game Pass is up, and that was pretty fun. I mean, there's a lot of game guys. Please go play these games. Get Game Pass, 14.99, and there's ways to get Game Pass for $1. You can look around and everything. At least try for a month for $1, and just have fun with it. Beat these
yeah.
games, get these achievements, get these all this stuff like that. Go and play, have fun with your friends and everything. I know that Patrick and Mike are trying to get me on this PS Now to play Elder Scrolls Online, which
Or you could just buy it. I mean, one of the two. But
I could, but I have it on the Xbox. It's just right there.
I know.
And also, if you have Game Pass, if you had an Xbox, you can get free for fourteen
True.
ninety nine.
But I don't.
On Game Pass.
I wish they had it on the PC and that the Xbox and the PC were
That's
somehow,
true.
but they don't
I wish
cross.
too.
They don't do cross
Yeah.
compatibility for ESO. It's all siloed to the individual systems, which really sucks. It's
Yeah.
not like you
I
get like a
forgot.
distinct advantage in ESO, right? I mean, like it's an
I have
MMO.
no idea.
I mean, I guess I don't know.
I watched you play it one time on the PlayStation. I think you were playing it, and I kind of joined your video to play, and it was pretty cool. It was cool. I don't know what kind of advantage you would have if you were playing a PC
Yeah.
version of it. Maybe it would look better. That's about it. Run better. But anyway, so going to our last topic is so Nintendo Switch Pro, which is rumored to come out. I mean, so far they're saying it's going to come out at the holiday season of 2021, which is really, really close. That's like too close for comfort, to be honest with you. And after I just bought that Switch, you know,
Well, they don't care about that. I mean,
yeah,
they're they're glad that
they
you
don't care
did.
about me. They don't care about people. But the rumor is that the price could be $399. Now,
That's big.
everybody's saying that it's too high, too much. I'm like, that's the right price. The regular Switch is $299. The Switch Lite is $199. I'm pretty sure this system will coexist with the other Switches. So they can't bring the Switch to 299 and drop the other one to 199 and drop the other one for what 150, $100. Ain't gonna happen. It's just not gonna happen. It's gonna be 399 because obviously it's gonna be a 4K system. I mean, now this is what speculations. I mean, we don't know this, but it's supposed to be a 4K system when they turn the TV. So technically, if it's a 4K system like an Xbox, One or a PlayStation Pro, those systems were $400 when they first came out.
Yeah.
Then you're asking that you have this 4K system that can be taken out of the dock and play it handheld at 720 now, but still a more powerful system. Then yeah, I think 399 is a good price. It's not a bad price at all.
Yeah, but I mean, ultimately, and I'm sitting here reading a little bit about it. It's
hmm
it's all going to be upscaled to 4K.
Okay,
So
it's just like the
it's
PS4, yeah,
well, yeah, like the
PS4,
PS4, but it's still
yeah.
not going to have the hardware power inside of it, all the cooling and stuff like that, the graphics GPU,
hmm
the processing power, all of that power inside of it. That is the components that you're really paying for. So, but I mean, I guess the trade-off is that it's portable, right? So you can just
Yeah,
pick it up and then use it and take it elsewhere. So there's kind of a trade-off in price, but I could see why that would be a hard sell on some people. Paying the same amount for a game that upscales to 4K and can't necessarily run stuff as well as the current gen systems in
hmm
4K. So I get it.
Well, I mean, it's gonna do the checkerboarding, I believe, just like what the PS4 Pro did and the Xbox One X did. so it's going to be fine. I think honestly, how much 4K does Mario need to look anyway? I think the game looked great the way it is now,
Yeah. I mean,
and if
that's
it
it.
looks,
Zelda's like the one thing that would really benefit from that as far as like
yeah,
a
I mean,
deep
if it
Nintendo
benefits,
title.
it, and I won't even say 4K, just better frame rate. If you can
Yeah.
just lock Zelda at 60 frames per second the whole time, I'm happy. I, that's the thing we talked about before. These games, I don't really care
Yeah.
for how they look. I just want it to run better. That's one thing I will, kind of, give a big gripe to the Switch right now is when you play it and you got all these things going on, it does slow down a little bit. You know.
Right.
Oh, we got somebody else. Oh, look, it's Michael. Hi from Florida. Miss you, fellas. So he's on the chat right now. Hello, Michael. How you doing?
Hey, hey.
Um, but yeah, the big thing is or if I'm playing the Zelda game, I think Breath of the Wild, there's some scenes where there's a lot of, I guess villains on the screen, and you're trying to kill them all. It just slow down a little bit.
Yeah.
So
It's like typical
again,
old Nintendo stuff. Yeah.
yeah. So the better processor will make it better, but I'm not looking for 4K Switch. I really don't. I really don't care to see Link or Mario in 4K. If it can
Right.
be 2K, 1440p, or a 1080 60 frame per second that can do more in the screen than before, I'm happy. I'm happy. It's just not.
Yeah.
It's
But I mean,
when it
if
comes
you
into it.
if you
Go ahead.
consider Breath of the Wild in actual 4K and seeing not all that aliasing on the grass and all the
Hmm.
digitization around it and all that grass flowing around, and if they upscaled everything, I mean, that game would be very pretty. And if they come out with like Breath of the Wild 2 and it's made
Which they will.
exclusively for the Switch Pro, which is what it
Hmm.
will be probably, uh, I could see that looking great. Like anything that they could push a little bit more into that gritty realism thing, Zelda's
Hmm.
definitely the series to do that on, unless they come out with a new IP. I guess there's a few other things that they might be able to do, like Star Fox or something like that. But
That'd
a
be
new
cool.
Star Fox game would be cool, especially on the Switch
Yeah.
with like
A new
motion
Star Wars game would
controls.
be cool. Yes, a new Metroid
Yeah,
would
new
be
Metroid would
cool.
be fantastic. That would also be really good on like 4K. Yeah,
Yeah, there's some games in there that would be really awesome if they were, because I saw Metroid 4 is supposed to come out years ago, and they still haven't come out yet. So who knows if that will ever come out? And if it does come out, hopefully it comes out for the Switch Pro because it will look pretty good. But Nintendo's known for pushing the system boundaries because again, if you ever played any kind of Mario game, okay, like Super Mario Kart or Smash Brothers, those games do a lot for the system. It looks really good, for what they're doing. I think Smash Brothers is one of those games that push the hardware to the limits, and you have all that stuff going on. You have everything in the background going on, and it goes out without a hitch. 60 frames per second looks beautiful, looks awesome.
right.
Same thing with Mario Kart. You got that speed going around, everything, got everything around you, everything hitting you. It doesn't even bat an eye. 60 frames per second. The game looks good because we're looking at the colorful nature of the game. We're not
Yeah,
looking at how crystal clear it looks. Now, again, you're right. If those games look 4K and they're going at 60, now see, I doubt those hardware is going to do 4K 60 because that's really hard right now.
yeah,
Because and I will not accept 4K 30. Okay, because we played that before on the Xbox One and PS4 Pro, which is 4K 30 frames per second. And as much as you like looking at all the goodies, it's still hard to play,
yeah,
especially if you're a PC player like me and you are, and we're used to 60 frame being a norm. And then going down to 30 is like, wow, what's going on? Like, am I pressing the button right? What's what I mean? It's just not right.
yeah. Yeah,
So
it's definitely a downgrade, that's for sure. Especially in like faster paced games, it's just like
yeah,
impossible.
and that's why if they come out to Switch Pro, I really don't care for 4K. If they can do 2K, 1440p or 1080p, but they just got to keep that frame rate up and have more stuff going on, and those games will look perfectly fine, beautiful, and I think the only thing that's gonna hurt is just the third party games, like Doom and The Witcher that are now on those consoles. Which, if you play The Witcher on a Switch, it doesn't look as good, but it plays. It
Yeah,
plays. It's good enough. You play Doom on there, it doesn't look as good, but it plays.
yeah.
Okay. If you
And you
never
can take it on a
played,
plane or a pooper. So,
exactly.
yeah,
If you never played, um, what is it, The Witcher or Doom on a console or a PC, you'll thought it looks fantastic.
yeah,
You never saw anything different. Like, oh, this Doom looks awesome. It looks awesome in the Switch. And then you you play on the console, like, what the heck I was playing before? Dude, wipe the Vaseline off my eyes. But yeah. So, but anyway, for me, again, $3.99 is not a hard sell. If it's $3.99, I'm definitely day one on that. Now we'll see how much that gets scalped birthday, and we'll see um how how much time before anybody gets a Switch, because the
It took a
last
long
time,
time, yeah, before.
yeah,
And
because
now there's a chip shortage.
yeah, because 4 years ago I got my Switch on day one. It wasn't even that hard. I just went to GameStop, reserved it, walked
You
away.
did, but a lot of people
Yeah,
didn't. That was hard
no,
to
they did
find
it
for a
because
long time.
yeah, and also too, people were late to the game though. I
Yeah.
think more of the, I mean, it was
The
different 4 years
diehards
ago.
got it, I'm sure, but the
Yeah,
general public, they had
no,
to wait
yeah, yeah.
six
It took a
plus
while,
months, yeah. And now,
but
but now you have the chip shortage in because of COVID-19 and
mm,
all of that. So production is going to be lower. That's half the reason why they're not able to roll out the other next gen systems as quickly right now.
yeah,
So
and that's what I'm afraid of. That even
it's
we
going to be
get this,
scalped again.
it's gonna be scalped again. And it's gonna be hard to get. I mean, look how long it took me to get the PS5. It literally took me like almost 3 or 4 months.
Yeah.
When it came out in November, yeah, almost 4 or 5 months. I mean, basically almost every day. I don't want to think about it. Almost every day I kept on looking on, on Twitter and everything, see when it comes up, and I got lucky. And if it wasn't for that one day, I'd still be right now talking about how I want a PS5 and I don't have one,
Yeah.
and I'm here waiting, and I want to play Ratchet and Clank, but I'm not gonna be able to play it because I'm not gonna get one. And every day now, even though I got one, I still have the Twitter feeds up, and I see it every day. PS5 are up, go get it now. PS5s are up, go get it now. I'm like, oh, thank God I'm away from that, you know.
Yeah.
And like I low key want to just buy one and just see if I can get one again. And I'll be like, hey Mike, just give me $500. I'll send him over, and hook him up, 'cause I know he's looking for one too. And then I have a few friends who are looking for one. So if I see one, I'll probably go and get one just to hook them up. And now when I say hook them up, don't mean I'll pay it for them. Okay,
Right.
they're gonna they're gonna buy it from me and get my money back. But um, at least they have a system. It's just too hard, and sometimes I feel like I need to do my due diligence to help the gamer community to play more games. Like today I went to Target and I saw the headset, and I was just kind of thinking about, like, oh, should I get this? I mean, I
The new
haven't seen many
PlayStation
headsets
headset.
around. Yeah,
Yeah.
I I mean, I even looked online, see the reviews, see if they're worth it, and everybody's like, "Oh, this is a cool headset, got all this cool stuff." I'm like, "Oh man, I don't want to spend $100 on a headset which I'll barely use," but for some reason I got that FOMO.
Yeah. Well, I use my Sony headset all the time. I love
Yeah, I
I
have
love
one.
having everything right on my ears.
Yeah, I
Helps a
have one
lot
too.
in first
Hmm.
person games and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, I do have a headset. It's from the PS4, and it's really nice. But from the stuff I heard from this one, is just even better. But again, I don't use a
I
headset
don't
very
need to hear
often
that.
unless I'm playing with my friends.
Right.
So we gotta make sure. Mike said, "I'll pay you back and give you $50 for your troubles." Oh, you see. So might have to do that. So I'm gonna go and start hunting again. If I find a PS5, I will definitely hook them up with that and as well, because again, I have several friends who want a PS5, and when I got it, they were all like, "What? How did you get one of those?" And I don't know, man. You got to be persistence. Persistence is key. Okay, so we are going with the viewer question. So this one's a good one because I have a lot of cool memories on this. So, Patrick, what is your favorite drink during gaming?
Uh, well, more recently, I would probably say just having like some nice booze, some gin or something like
Hmm.
that, in
Yeah,
some
relax.
form or
That's good.
fashion
Hmm.
is super good. Especially if I was playing like an MMO, like Final Fantasy or WoW
Oh
or
yeah, you're
something like
relaxing.
that.
That's good stuff.
Having some bourbon or something like that. Um, Otherwise, I don't really drink any sugary drinks anymore. I'm probably more often than not drinking seltzer water like LaCroix or something as ridiculous as that now.
Hmm.
Um, for energy stuff or caffeine, I'm usually having either some black coffee because I'm hard
Hmm.
like that, or I have a caffeine supplement slash weight burner called Alphamine. Jose drinks that stuff too. So
Oh
I've had
yeah,
that a few
but not for
times during
gaming.
midday. No, no, not for just like
Yeah.
hanging out playing games, but midday if I need a boost, I'll have
Mhm.
some of that. But otherwise, I don't really mess with too many other sugary sweet drinks or anything
Ooh.
like that.
So I'm very guilty with this stuff. Back in the day, I don't do it anymore, but back in the day, I used to live off Monster energy drinks, and not the sugary one, the fake sugar, the worst one for you. You know,
Yeah. The black and
I used to,
green one or
I
whatever it
used to
was.
pound those. There's if I want to do a gaming session, let's say a new game came out, like the new Uncharted, I would get a 6 pack of the Monster energy drinks and drink the whole thing the whole night. I mean, I'm surprised I still
Does it
have a
make you
brain.
wonder that you're still alive at this point?
No, I do. I know it every day. You think about that. How, I'm just surprised my brain didn't cave in,
Like a vessel
or like my
burst.
heart, or my heart just exploded. It was me, and my friend Andrew. We would, drink the Monster Energies, the sugar-free one, and just drink them and just stay up till 6. But then we had the worst crash. Like when 6 rolled around in the morning
Oh, I'm
and we're
sure.
done, we'll sleep the whole day. But we always made sure with the next day we were off from work. But it was really interesting. Monster Energy is a big one that we did back in the day. So I was that gamer that just pound those things down. Another one too. For a while, about a couple years ago, I did the um, the 5 hour energy. So I did those because those really do work. You will be awake for 5 hours, nonstop straight, just playing games or whatever you're doing in life. For 5 hours straight, you be up and everything. So that's always fun. Yeah, to do that stuff there going on. And then lately, just water.
Yeah.
I mean, I am now older. I need to drink. I need to be more healthy. By
Same.
working out and everything. So water is the key. And the problem is doing that is I fall asleep right after playing a game. you know,
Hell, I fall asleep in the middle of playing games sometimes. I was playing some PC or some PlayStation earlier, right before the podcast, and then I got a
Mhm.
message from you. I'm like, "Oh yeah, we're doing the podcast." It's 8 o'clock. I fell asleep.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
yeah, and that's the thing with me is like I drink water though. That's my beverage of choice at the moment. Maybe if I can find something that has more caffeine, I don't drink coffee. If I drink coffee, I'd be going to the bathroom every 5 minutes. That wouldn't make any sense to me to drink it to play games because I wouldn't be playing any games. So I don't know. I haven't tried like black tea and everything. I might try that. Something different. Cause there are some times where I get a new game and I really want to play the game for at least a couple hours.
yeah,
And drinking water is not gonna cut it. And playing games for me is my escape after work.
yeah, yeah. For me,
So
it's
I don't want to.
decompressing.
Yeah,
I don't want to like ramp up.
yeah. And I don't want to fall asleep. I mean, because I mean, the worst thing to do is when you come home from work, is go straight to sleep.
Yeah,
You need to
it
stay
sucks
active.
because then you're like, "Oh man, now I have to." Yeah,
Yeah, and
yeah.
then you wake up at
Waste all your
3 o'clock in the
time.
morning.
Yeah,
And
waste
you
all your
work at
time off. Yeah,
then you wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning trying to go back to sleep and you can't. So you try to stay up as long as you can before you can get that sleep that everybody needs,
yeah.
and then sleep through till whatever time
So
you
you
got to get
don't
up for
just
work in the morning.
perpetuate the cycle, which you're inevitably
Yes,
going to do anyway.
exactly. So anyway, so that is our last question. Thank you so much for those questions at all. And again, guys, please, 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 if you have any viewer questions you have, please send us to well, we'll go start this way. Is if you want to send it to me, you can actually go and send it to any of the platforms on PlayStation, Xbox, or Nintendo Switch at DamageJJP. Just shoot me a DM right there. You can say, hey, I want this question. Or you can go on Instagram at thatoldschoolgamerdude and send me a DM there too and see what kind of questions you want to hear on the next podcast, which would be number 13. Lucky number 13. I can't wait for that one as well. And then you can reach Patrick at.
You can find me at the Real Gray Man on PlayStation. That's Grey. And Zeta Muerte on Xbox Game Pass. I tried to change that to the Real Gray Man, but for some reason it's too long and I can't do it, despite the fact that Mike's name is
Mhm.
letters longer than mine. Mine is limited and I can't make it the same thing. So
That's weird.
I'm stuck with what I
Yeah,
have, or I can try to figure out another thing, but that
that's
it's
weird.
still the same issue I'm running into when I'm telling people to follow me on all this stuff. So Zeta Muerte on the Xbox Game Pass, Zeta9966 on Steam. I think I might have just changed that one, but I think it's still Zeta9966. Zeta Muerte on Instagram as well.
Hmm.
And you can find Mike whenever he's available again on N7 Viking Warrior on pretty much everything. on Xbox, PlayStation, Instagram, all that stuff. So that is where you can find us on everything.
Good. Oh, and I forgot about Steam. If I'm ever on Steam, which I'm not anymore because all the good stuff is on EA Game Pass. I mean, on the Game Pass on
Yeah.
Xbox. But you can find me on, again, DamageJJP. Uh, and again, guys, when you see us online, say hello, add us. We'll add you, and maybe we can get a quick playing game. We can play some games. We're gonna be a little busy the next few weeks, but we are gonna put some podcasts out too for those
Yeah.
days as well because Patrick's going out of town, and
Yep.
then
And Mike's
I got
currently out
some
of town.
currently out of town, and I got some new work stuff I gotta do. But we're still gonna bring some more content for you too as well because you know about video games, it never ends. There's always rumors.
Oh yeah.
There's always stuff pop up. We hope there's some big juicy thing come out. Friday. A lot of good stuff comes out on Friday, so hopefully those
We'll see.
some stuff happens in the weekend and everything. But otherwise, everybody, please, thank you so much for listening to our podcast or watching us on YouTube. Have a good one.
The brain just
All right,
shuts
guys.
down at the end.
Oh
All
yeah.
right.
All right, guys. Take it easy.
All right.
Thank you so
Bye.
much. See you next